We have to protect our community at all costs.
Mm.
We have to protect our community at all costs with whatever we're going to be putting forward for sure. For us, we were lucky again that we raised, when Ethereum was like $200-300. So our Ethereum stockpile has gone through the roof. We bought a shitload of DOT.
It's been a while since we've had juicy drama in crypto, and it finally happened again, and this time with Mantra Chain, previously known as MantraDAO, who wanted to become a Polkadot parachain, believe it or not, but they failed to win the auction, and so the price was doing very, very well for Mantra Chain. In fact, it was trading at around $6 to $6.30, even $6.60, as you can see here, until a major event occurred and crashed it to oblivion. It went all the way down to just under 40 cents, 37 point something cents on some exchanges. Then it popped to like $1.30, and now it's stabilizing around 77 cents. It's hovering around that. But it does have more holders, surprising or not, because it's more decentralized. Apparently, a lot of investors were still holding a lot of these tokens. The team apparently haven't sold any tokens, so they're not the cause for this dump, but there is a reason, okay? I know it's a bit late of me posting this because many people already mentioned it, but in case you're not aware, in case you just woke up to this and you just saw it, this is what happened, okay? So apparently on-chain data revealed that a personal wallet transferred approximately 3.9 million OM tokens to the OKX exchange just before the crash occurred. Okay, so this basically caused panic. And the community suspects that the wallet belongs to an insider from the project. Now, if we look at this post here on X by Look On Chain, it says that at least 17 wallets deposited 43.6 million OM because they have investigated on chain, they've done the analysis, which is apparently worth $227 million at the time, okay? 4.5% of the circulating supply. Now that's a lot, and according to Arkham Stag, 2 of these addresses are linked to Laser Digital, and Laser Digital is a strategic investor in Mantra Chain. Okay, so Laser Digital is a VC who decided, okay, let's dump all of our tokens, and instead it didn't turn out well for them because people panicked, people saw that, and then as soon as they saw it, they were like, okay, let's sell, let's dump. Okay, this is big trouble for us. The price is going to crash to oblivion because OM didn't have the kind of liquidity that like Solana does, for example, or Ethereum, who have a lot of liquidity on chain, so they can stomach big drops of $200 million, if that was to be sold. Of course, it would cause a bit of a week, but it would recover. It would get eaten up by the market. Now, what does JP Mullen, who's the founder of Mantra Chain, say on X? He says the team greatly appreciate the support. They believe this is a testament of the support, and they've determined that the OM market movement were triggered by reckless, forced closures initiated by centralized exchanges on OM account holders. The timing and depth of the crash suggests that a very sudden closure of account positions was initiated without sufficient warning or notice, that this happened during low liquidity hours on a Sunday evening, and which points to a degree of negligence at best, or possibly intentional market positioning taken by centralized exchanges. Centralized exchange partners play an important role in providing liquidity to projects like ours. We work closely with them. However, they continue to exercise enormous high levels of discretion. When discretionary powers are exercised without due internal and external oversight, dislocations like what recently happened can and will occur, hurting both projects and investors alike. To be clear, this dislocation was not caused by the team, the Mantra Chain Association, its core advisors, or Mantra's investors selling tokens. Tokens remain locked and subject to the published vesting periods. OM's tokenomics remain intact as shared last week in our latest token report. Our token wallet addresses are online and visible. Alright, but why didn't he say anything about Laser Digital, right? He didn't post anything about them, so yeah, and apparently they're banning people on Telegram, which is quite typical of many of these brands, when they suffer some issue, not necessarily a rug pull, right? Like it was in this case, panic. People complain because it's obvious, right? I mean, if you've been holding since $6 and you thought, the price is going to go up because the project is delivering, then all of a sudden you wake up to 40 cents or 50 cents, of course you're going to be pissed, right? And you're going to be airing that on Telegram. And so they're just banning people for that instead of just listening to them, or instead of hiring some admin to just reply politely and just try to help people understand the situation, right? If you're not guilty, why are you banning people? That's the way I see it. If somebody is going to start like with death threats or something on Telegram, then yeah, then you got to take measures. You might want to mute them, but not necessarily ban them, right? You don't want to be banning people for raising concerns, especially as they're your investors, most of them, right? And so, yeah, we'll have to see how things progress with this, but it's not looking pretty. Although there are people who still believe in it, and if we look on the 1 minute chart, I mean, there were people still buying and is now finding some sort of stability around 75 cents, as you can see here. But it's still kind of struggling because you see here, right, we had a dip to like 72 cents. Then he went back to 82 cents, and now it looks like he wants to retest this area here, which formed a bit of a support. At least he found some sort of support, right? Of course, we do have more support around here, all the way down to 40 cents, but, you know, just short-term support, this is the next one. So now it's retesting it. We have to watch to see, is it going to be a free fall down back to 40 cents, or will it bounce back up? Because, you know, right now, as they're investigating, things are not looking well. So we have to see if this was really exchanges or if it was just investors. Basically tracked down the on-chain activity, saw that the big deposits are happening, and then started dumping straight away to prevent those people from dumping, basically taking away the liquidity, which is absolutely insane. But maybe the investor from Laser Digital shouldn't have sent so many tokens to the exchange. Perhaps they should have sent them in smaller amounts, I don't know, and just maybe sold them over time if they wanted to get out. I think maybe just the way they did it as well, that could have probably affected it. So I don't know. I'm assuming. I don't know. I'm just thinking, why would exchanges liquidate so much all of a sudden just because of those large deposits? But yeah, anyway, I'm pretty sure there are all kinds of bots that monitor activities, you know, and like you get bots that monitor activities and post them on X as well on some of the larger wallets, the whale wallet watchers and all that. So of course they're going to be monitoring activities when it comes to large deposits as well. But manipulating the market in this way, that's absolutely insane if it's true. But before we end this, I just want to talk a bit about Solana as well. So Solana had a nice pump today to $136 before pulling back a bit to 131, going back up to 134. So it had some massive swings here, great for scalping if you're a scalper. I trade support and resistance. Like yesterday, I entered a trade around 127 and 20 cents. On a long, after I saw this major push down, I've actually managed to short this as well, which worked really well. Unfortunately, I didn't use like my full size. I used like 0.5% of my account instead of normal 1%. Because I didn't have too much confidence that it's going to work out, but it did work out. And then I've placed a long here as soon as I saw that it's picking up momentum, and I set my stop loss below this low here, just in case, you know, it does drop below it. I no longer want to be in it because it doesn't make sense. It means that it invalidated my trade. And so this worked out really well. Now, of course, I could have captured a lot more profit. I think I was out around here. Had a preset target as well because I saw that, you know, it found some sort of resistance around here. So I thought, you know, it's probably going to revisit this area. So I set my take profit there. And it happened during early morning hours. So I didn't actually watch it because maybe I would have controlled it different. But perhaps I would have exited anyway because, you know, seeing this pullback here, I wouldn't want to give back all that profit anyway. So, you know, I would have probably exited. I would have been fine with this. It was like 2x gain. So why not? And then, yeah, it continued up higher, and now it looks like it's retesting that moving average. And I mean, if it breaks this trend here, if it goes below 131, I'm thinking to enter a short here because this would be a sign that, you know, we might want to be going down again and retesting lower levels. But we have to see. I mean, if it's going to get to this level and then it bounces back up, then it could go higher. But if it fails here, right, because we do have some support around this area now. Look, support here. It's not a huge support, but it's holding quite okay. It's around support now as well, as you can see from that previous high on the 13th of April. Yeah, I mean, if it breaks below this, that could be a good chance to short this and perhaps wait for this level once again, because this support is quite thin. So you know, it's unlikely going to hold there. If it's dropping below this, then it's probably going to revisit $128 or $127 here. So I'm looking for that if it does happen, but it looks quite bullish, so it's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be bouncing off this and maybe even going higher before we'll see any kind of pullback. Probably the next pullback will be to this level when it already gets to like 140 something dollars. So yeah, you just got to be patient with these and just don't force the trades. Wait for that strategy to play out and then enter the trade. That's what I'm doing, and it seems to be more profitable like that. I mean, if I win out of 10 trades that I take using this strategy, the support and resistance strategy, I will be winning in the long term. So that's the way I see it. It's a good way to make an income. But it's just about managing that trade, just about being patient with that trade. And so as you can see, it is starting to pull back now, and it's going to test this area. So we'll have to see if we can enter that short trade or not. Yeah, that's it from today's update. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.